Good day. My name is Campbell. Lovett, Conference Minister with the Michigan Conference of the United Church of Christ, bringing you another in our series of Faith for Thought. A while back I had a conversation with the late Walter Wink, the great theologian and justice advocate, writer of books about the principalities and powers. And we were discussing the church's response to significant times of disaster and disruption, either on the national or global scene. And he was very clear about saying the church's first response in such times needs to be pastoral. We need to deal with people's sense of shock, grief, abandonment, terror even, be pastorally present and help people in those situations. But then after a while, the church also has the responsibility to think and to speak prophetically, to detail places of injustice and marginalization, and challenge the church to work to right those wrongs. I think part of our work here with the Michigan Conference and with folks in local churches has been to seek that balance of being pastorally present, but also prophetically challenging. When the city of Detroit a few years ago was going through its difficult time of bankruptcy, was getting very bad publicity in the national press, the conference made the decision, in Detroit is where we need to have our annual meeting. We must be present and be in solidarity pastorally with people and our churches in Detroit. But we also, in addition to that presence, wanted to have a prophetic witness as well. And so a resolution was passed about emergency financial managers and how they disenfranchise citizens and create more and more injustices. We're seeing this now with the Flint water crisis. We do work with our church in Flint, with our Disciples of Christ partnership, to be present to the people in real and tangible ways of helping to deliver bottled water, helping to distribute water filters and replacement cartridges, to be with our churches in a pastoral presence as people reel from shock and grief and yes, even terror about this very difficult situation that has been wrought upon them unwittingly. And so we also have the prophetic challenge that we have as well, to stand with those who are having their water shut off, to say, why is it that people must pay higher and higher prices for water that is more and more poisonous? How do we look at the larger context of this disaster within decades-long process of deindustrialization and the marginalization of the poor and minority folk in a city with fewer and fewer resources? We must be pastorally present. There must be a prophetic challenge. In your local churches, you also have this opportunity for being pastorally present with families in times of life transition, with young people seeking help in their discernment processes about their futures. But there's also, as you know, these times of prophetic challenge, where we must call the church to respond more forcefully and more justly to injustices in the world around us. It is a balance between pastoral and prophetic that both are needed. So I want to encourage our local churches, our associations, and yes, even this conference to remember that balance, to think globally and act locally as we do the work of Jesus, who had both pastoral and prophetic presences. And may that presence be with you in the days ahead as you seek to minister and to promote justice. Thank you for sharing in this time of faith for thought. God bless.